Here we go. We're about to go live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
About to go
you
live.
talk. Yeah, you can talk while we get started because
All
people are
right.
gonna be
All right.
strolling in.
Yep.
Okay.
Video, more. God, so fast, but maybe minimize the backgrounds and filters. There it is. Let's go to Endor. There we go.
Nice.
There we go. All right, now we're on it. So how's everybody?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Oh, I guess all right. I was just on. Sorry, didn't join earlier. This was. I might have to leave. Somebody might be work calling, so it's one of those things.
Well, we will make do with or without you, but it's better to have you here. So
yes, better to work actually.
Well, yeah, that's good too. That money coming.
Well, good evening, everybody. I see if you are in the room. Welcome to another week of the virtual Cantina watch along, as we are on the countdown to the Book of Boba Fett, which comes out at the end of this month. Some great D+ content coming out. And with me tonight, I have first Senor Jefe. How are you today, sir?
Good.
Jefe.
And then we have producer extraordinaire, Mr. Dave O'Neill. Fantastic job on the speaker series this season, sir. You and Notman did a bang up job.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Saul. Hey, Bryce. Hello, Bryce's wife. Hey, Jen. And tonight, once again, we bring back our good friend for his fourth appearance on their virtual Cantina watch along, and going to be your host for Alderaan Idol 2022, Mr. Kevin Thompson. Kevin, how are you, my friend?
I'll do my hosting voice. How's that?
There you go.
I'll use that one right now. Do you like that? The deeper voice?
That
Very
works.
professional.
Yeah, very professional here. Hey, how's everybody doing?
Sunday.
Glad everybody's here. I hope to bring more stories. I know this is my third or fourth time doing this, but it does bring back lots of memories of me going back to the Redwoods.
Oh yeah, I think this will be your second time with us watching this movie.
Third.
This movie. Third
This
time.
movie.
Third
time.
So that means you've done 5 because we did Ewok Adventures and Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, that's right. So this is
3.
fifth.
That's a lot.
Okay, so I forgot about the Ewok Adventures.
Most Ewok movies.
Yeah, so 6. This is his 6th appearance.
None of us can count. That's
I
fine.
wish I thought of it. I have it stored away, but one of our members, John Driscoll, just did a drive across country, and I met up with him a couple of weeks ago, and he brought me some dirt and some leaves from Redwood. Like he's like I got you this, and then I went to Death Valley and I got you some sands from the sand dunes. I'm like, oh, thanks, I appreciate that. So I wish I brought that out. But yes, we have a great group tonight.
Nate Adams up in Eureka Film Commission. They're putting out this weekend a display of Return of the Jedi.
That's fantastic.
Because we flew into Eureka, and then we started. They did, I think, part of Leia when she falls off the not the log, but when she falls off the speeder bike, and some of that in that area. I want to say Heart Rock or Heart. I wasn't there, so I didn't. I like your shirt, Dave. Nice shirt.
Made especially for you, sir. Right there.
Dude, that's me.
It is you.
That's me. Nice shirt. I have to get that. That is
that
really
could probably
cool
be
shirt.
arranged. So before we continue, just a couple of quick notes to everybody playing at home. Yes, we are going to have a giveaway tonight, and one of the prizes tonight, obviously, is the fact that we get joined by Kevin, which is always a pleasure. But I got a mystery envelope here. Can't see through it. But we're not going to do the giveaway until the movie's over.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So you want to stick around.
Here for the long haul.
And it's a good one. It's a good one.
Is it like a double Jeopardy type of questions?
Actually, I would think it is. Actually, would you say, Dave? Would you say it's a double Jeopardy type of question? I think
That's
so.
a good question. It's a combination. Yes, it's not a direct. It's a
yes. So stick around for that. We also have it coming up in 2 weeks. Is the cutoff for the Punch a Chewie shirt. Jeff, why don't you're taking some notes about this? So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we're getting close to the amount of purchasers that will allow us to get free domestic shipping. So that'll save everybody 10 or 12 bucks at least. It's a cool design with the Falcon on the front and the cockpit of the Falcon on the back. Very cool shirt that we kind of got put together with the help of Joanna. And I think it will rival the original shirt. Yep. But that free shipping is an excellent deal. So if we can get up to the total we need for that, we'll be good to go. Everybody will save some extra cash.
Awesome. And Bryce, we're glad you're going to stay late tonight. But yeah, just also to let everybody know, it's an unlike other giveaways. It's open to everybody in the chat, including members of the council
and hosts.
And you already know the answer.
You almost said it.
I almost did. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, you're glad you're taking a break from being on the camera, Mr. Notman.
He does a great job on camera anyway. So
yeah, you did a great job this past week. What a fascinating they were all great this week, this season, don't get me wrong. But the last one with Paul Hirsch was pretty special.
Yeah, I watched it at work today.
It was so nice to get some information about that. Please, everybody, make sure that you have a copy of or have D Plus up because we're using that. Though I am tempted just for S's and G's to watch my Despecialized because I watched that over the weekend. I watched it one by one. It was so good. It was so good. Before we also start, Dave, why don't you plug anything coming up on the network and the stores?
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff coming up on the network. If you weren't checking out, on our YouTube channel about an hour ago, I posted a special Ewok related unboxing.
Gotta watch
that. You're gonna want to check that out.
And you got to sign in to or sign that
petition.
To get our
action figures.
Figures.
Yes, we need those action figures.
Ewok movie action figures petition. Get all of the 80 million Ewoks that Kevin played as action figures.
Every single one. So all
and
of them.
And then a couple of humans and some other people.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Everyone
I would
for more stuff for the countdown to the Book of Boba Fett, because it's coming fast, people, and we're going to be here every week watching episodes of The Mandalorian and all of Boba Fett's arc. So please join us. The calendar's available on the Facebook group. I'll probably sometime bump that back up to the top. But look at it, join us, and check out all episodes of the speaker series are now available in our speaker series playlist over on the YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/the Virtual Cantina Network.
So here's a first question for Kevin before we start the movie.
What prize does he get?
Oh, he gets to be on with Dave. He'll give him the shirt off his back.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. Just please wash it though.
Yeah.
I do like Tide and Downy.
There you go.
Yes.
Nice
it smells like your barn, Dave. Probably. So Kevin, how do you find enjoyment in just every time you watch this movie? Like, does it ever get old for you?
No.
Honestly, yeah.
My wife just there goes, God, how many times do we have to watch this movie? Oh,
Yet she plugged
don't
it
you know?
today,
You
so
already know it by heart. Why do you sit there? Yes, I know exactly where you're at. You're here, you're there, you're here. But yes, it does bring back memories. Some of my friends who have passed away are are in it, and so I remember those different guys who are have and gals who have passed away in those scenes. Like
Yeah.
Debbie passed away with the famous death scene that she pulled out, and she's an extra. If you can imagine that, it's probably the greatest extra scene ever because she didn't get paid really. I mean, she's making $100 a day, and she did that scene, and she should have. And it's one of the greatest death scenes of all time.
Yeah.
And she got $100. Didn't even get a bump for that. Maybe $20.
I see so many memes of people saying, the saddest scene in movie history, and the number one picture you see is the death.
Yes, that's Debbie Carrington doing all that. I mean, it's just she was, simply amazing. She was a great fun. She was a lot of fun. Come over to come over the house. Tracy and her were good friends. I was very good friends with her too. We did probably over 10 projects together, and she was just always a hoot. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Very awesome. So we're about 10:07 on the East Coast. So we'll probably start in the next 3 minutes so we can get it directly on the 10. So it'll be 10:10. We're going to start Eastern, or 7:10 Pacific time. Don't forget, you make sure you have it on the D Plus network. Lots of great stuff on D Plus right now. Hawkeye is a lot of fun. Really enjoying that. The last episode, if you haven't, we'll talk about it on Tuesday, but straight out of the comic book. So they're doing a really big push with the comic with that, which is pretty awesome. And then obviously Book of Boba Fett, we're getting ready for all the great Star Wars content for next year. Some really, really, really good stuff. So excited about that. Let me just think about what else we do before we start. If there's anything else that we really need to chat about. Oh, hopefully some of you didn't have to wait 5 hours and spend $10,000 to get a ticket to see Spider-Man. So some people are $10,000.
Yeah, everybody was
Really?
posting those listings. It's like those are out of hand. I don't know who.
I mean, it's just like wait a couple of weeks, invest that 10,000 in Bitcoin.
Yeah, they really want the
Ethereum,
Spider-Man NFTs that they're getting with some of the tickets. Probably.
I'm going Sunday, and it took me 5 minutes online to get my ticket. So what?
I went on the night that they went on sale, and my app said it was going to take an hour, and I think I fell asleep before that hour was up. And then I got up the next morning and grabbed some tickets. The best seats weren't there, but it was still plenty of options.
And then, of course, I'm sorry, you're saying?
Is it interesting that Doc Ock is played by the same actor who played Doc Ock with the other Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Well, if all the rumors are true, I mean, we already know that it's Jamie Foxx playing Electro, who played Electro in the other ones as well. So if the rumors are true and all the villains and all the other Spidey show up, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Yeah,
and
I was about
Diesel shows up to beat the lizard.
Yep, and I was about to give a spoiler from this week's episode of Hawkeye, which I was like so close because of the comments I just made. I just no, I'm not going to do that. Wait until Tuesday. I give you guys into the next week. And also tickets for Matrix went on sale. That's
today?
Something that I'm not today. That's something I'm not going to wait for to watch on HBO max. I have to see that in the theater. Okay, well, we have like 14 people on tonight, so that's pretty awesome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Once again, we're joined with our good friend Kevin Thompson, and we are going to go do the 10-second countdown. So everybody have their remotes handy, all set up.
D+ is ready.
To quote Spider-Man, bone saw is
Ewok.
ready. Ewok lager.
Ewok lager.
Yep.
Tastes
Okay,
like
we're starting. Tastes like Han.
Tastes like chicken.
Okay.
10. Tastes like Stormtrooper.
There you go.
Stormtroopers taste like chicken.
Yeah. Everything tastes like chicken.
Well,
10.
back to the Matrix.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Remember, if you have any questions for Kevin about Jedi, about Blade Runner, anything to do with his career, please put them in the chat, and we will monitor for you.
Indeed.
Indeed.
A long time ago.
But doesn't it taste like tasty wheat too, Dave? I mean,
Tasty
Jeff.
Makes you wonder, what did Tasty Wheat taste like? Did anybody know what Tasty Wheat tasted like? Nobody knew what Tasty Wheat tasted like. That's why Tasty Wheat tasted. No, sorry.
Yes, I missed the old 20th Century Fox opportunity that they had bought Fox right before the release of Rise of Skywalker, and for us old school fans to have the fanfare of the 20th Century Fox playing before the theme would have been a nice way to send us off. But the
Everybody would have
mouse
loved the
house dropped
movie
the
instead of
ball.
hating it.
But remember, somehow Palpatine returned. So
Somehow.
anyway,
Magic. Space cloning.
yes.
Sith is.
It was Grogu all along.
Absolutely was. So, Kevin, what would you say is your favorite memory of being part of Return of the Jedi?
Getting the job.
You're pretty young when that was.
It was probably about right around now that I had been trying, because I had to get, it was right after the new year that we basically the movie started, and so they were doing wardrobe fittings and things like that, running up and down, because it was trying to get, they had to send these outfits or measurements to England and then send them back.
Oh wow!
And so then when all the costumes came back to Eureka, they were all mixed up. So there was for all those costume fittings, then they had to sit there and go, "Is this your head?" And some people hadn't seen their head in 4 months, so they didn't know. And so it's like, "Is this your head?" So they tried, "No, that doesn't fit." And mine was custom made. I was very lucky. Mine, they had a whole head cast and had a whole body cast. So mine was fit to me, to fit right, but everybody else not so much.
Was that more for the stunt element, or were you doing stunts?
Yes, definitely for the
they had
stunt
to
element,
make sure
for
it
the
was
safety
secure on
factor.
you. Right.
Yeah, and then we had stunt helmets that were all rubber, but we had better ones that had like acrylic teeth and eyes that didn't come out, and a lot of the things that we tried to do in making of the makeup, it didn't work. Camera could see us, that it was a different outfit. So we had to make sure that many times we had to wear the regular outfit to do a stunt. So it's like we didn't get to play with the stunt outfits as much as we'd like to, because they just didn't look right.
Huh.
And what did they do to make you different characters, Kevin? Did they just, paint the faces differently or use different heads?
I just used somebody else's mask. They got a little. We didn't have wipeouts, but they would like just wipe it out with a rag. It was somebody else's sweat in there, and I was handed that mask. But that's what a stuntman does.
Oh, Ewok swass. You gotta love that.
Yes, I was. It was COVID, pre-COVID, pre-AIDS, all that. So if somebody was really a sweaty one, but I fit their mask. I was wearing their mask.
Fun.
Kevin got cooties.
Loads.
Costumes can get really wet inside. It's kind of nasty. Putting your own costume on is bad enough after it's been sweat in, but somebody else.
Yeah.
We got a great question from
Phil Plunkett said that when I'm chopping some of the ropes, I'm wearing Deej's outfit. And that's Daniel Frischman. And so I know Dan very well, but I could never say that I was Deej, because Deej is too much of like Ewok Adventure. And he did such a great job with that I can't claim to say I'm Deej.
Right.
Before Dan was Deej.
So you didn't wear the head, you just wore his costume?
It's basically they would just change it up with the head.
Right.
Different things. I would have white down here. I would have the white slash. I would just have brown. I would have different
clothing
like
or anything.
Cat like characteristics of things.
So I want to also give a quick shout out and a happy birthday to a member of our group, as well as a Star Wars alum, Deep Roy. So very happy birthday to you, sir.
Cheers to you.
Very nice. Yes, it was very nice to see him commenting on his birthday post today. So we got a couple. We actually got two questions now, Dave. Ooh, awesome.
Yeah. So, Jonathan Notman would like to know, what was the relationship like between American and British Ewok actors? Do you have like social gatherings? Did you hang out with the Brits, or did the Americans stick to the Americans? Did the Brits stick to the Brits? I mean, you might have been a lot younger than some of them. I don't know.
Well, the Brits were very close, because they had done, Kenny and Jack were a duo. They were a singing musical comedy act. So they were very tight, and their wives were there. Not Jack's. Jack's wife wasn't there, but Kenny's wife was there. And they were very close. And then Mike had worked with them quite often there too. Warwick and the little guy, what's the other little guy's name? The kid. There was another kid they brought in to be friends with Warwick. And so they kind of hang out together, but Warwick was just much more advanced socially than that other kid. And Warwick just was everybody's best friend. And so you couldn't help it. Something was going to happen with Warwick there. And you can see that because of his career, everything has worked out well for him. In England, when the 4 stunt guys came over in January, it was different, because they were not told about us coming to do the stunts. They were all talking amongst themselves, saying, "Oh, I'm going to do such a great job. I'm the guy that's going to the States." And so all of them thought, all of the British Ewoks thought that they were going to go to the States. Unbeknownst that there's 4 American stuntmen coming over to recreate the outfits and do all the heavy lifting in Eureka or Crescent City.
Interesting.
And so at first they were like, we got the cold shoulder, but by the end of the week we got much better. And it didn't help that me being the young kid, the first thing I said was, "Yeah, we're here to do all your guys' stunts."
They're making friends on day one,
like, that didn't go over very well.
Win friends and influence people.
There you go, right there.
And you're young, and you think you know everything, and you know nothing.
Exactly.
So
but that was a lot. Also, the stunt coordinator had great fun. Glenn Randall had great fun. He was hoping to see some fisticuffs, but nothing of that came down. But he was hoping to see them actually fighting over it and everything like that.
Starting
So-
trouble.
Mike says hi, and
In more
Chad
ways than-
White asks, so when did you start going to cons, and do you enjoy going to cons?
I guess my first con was LA and LA Celebration, and I do
Oh,
so
2007.
I do like going to cons. It's fun to you know, I'm an old man getting to talk about my past, and everybody else has heard, my family's heard these stories, you know, my friends have heard these stories, and now it's new ears hearing my stories. You know, like my uncle, my dad's brother, my uncle, he starts telling a story and his family will raise their hand saying, we've heard this. And so that's what my family started doing. We've heard this. I know the story. And so nobody raises their hand when I'm talking at a con. So it's, you know, I can talk forever. My
Your wife
says I
isn't
can
in
talk to
earshot.
my wife says I can talk to a tree stump, you know, and wait for a response.
Well, from where you were acting, that's probably a good skill to have. You could,
Yeah, I had a lot of tree stumps. You know,
A better
still run into a
conversationalist
few
than some
tree
people.
stumps every now and then.
Nice.
And what's the next show you are scheduled for?
I got a couple of things coming out in the spring. NDA, so I can't say.
Sure.
So something might be coming on Disney Plus, might be. So
Nice.
yeah.
Do you have any
Yeah.
cons coming
And then-
or anything in nature?
Then another one with another one completely different coming out in about the spring too. NDA, can't say
Excellent.
until they start announcing things.
The LA Comic Con is this weekend. Do you have any plans to check that
I
out?
tried to get in there and they didn't accept me.
Oh, wow.
So
That's weird.
tried to get there.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll be hanging out and we're going to do a little meetup at the end of the con on Sunday at a local restaurant, El Cholo, in downtown. So
Okay.
if you're around on Sunday afternoon at 5 and want to stop by, we'll all be hanging out, having
Okay.
fun.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll look into that.
So
El Cholo down in downtown.
yeah, it's on Flower right off. It's like a block from LA Live.
Okay.
So, but you know, it should be fun. Mike and myself will be there for sure, and whoever else in LA that wants
Yeah.
to show up.
I did LA Comic Con before COVID,
Uh-huh.
but one of those things, you know,
would
every
think-
a lot of actors are wanting to do these cons now. It's all sorts of different types of you know, the genres now.
Yeah, big time.
And so it all depends on what you're collecting.
Well, I think we should all go to LA Comic Con and say, "Where's Kevin Thompson?" to the people
You
that are running it.
You should do a running thing. Say, man, I came here. I was hoping to see him, and
I'm disappointed.
I'll send you this file with new text. Just says, "Where's Kevin Thompson?" right across there. You guys can all wear that.
there it is.
Sounds good.
So
There it
I
is. That's a
watched
good one.
the other day the Despecialized, and I think one of the things that I love the most about the Despecialized was the Max Rebo band. I prefer the Max Rebo band, free CGI, different
Right.
song.
This is the
like-
extended version, and it's like to me, it's too much.
Yeah, it's kind of over the top.
Yeah.
The little
Hey, there's
spittle
Boba.
coming out of no.
Yeah.
Oh, and when you saw that guy on the trailer for the special edition, he was
And he's
Oh, you get frozen Spencer.
frozen.
No, I'm
Spencer
here.
in carbonite. No,
Now you're frozen.
I'm back.
No, some people do like it, so just one of those
Yeah.
things.
It
I'm
was
not
for
the
a newer
director, it's
audience
just
to
our opinion.
Enjoy.
It's just our opinion. Many people, it's like some people like the
Yeah.
prequels.
And some people like the sequel.
Yes, they had their place.
Some people, the sequels were much better than the prequels, but some people really like the prequels.
Right.
That's a controversial opinion, especially in this
Hot
group.
take.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
huge contrast.
Oh yeah.
So
It
speaking
can
of
be. I mean,
this,
it could be, fighting words. I'm
Yeah,
sure
definitely.
many, because now the people who did grow up on the prequels are now of fighting
Parents.
age.
Yes.
yeah. So talking
They're
about the fact that we
listening
just
to
saw the
Dropkick
Rancor.
Murphys and getting mad.
Nice Boston reference right there, sir. But talking about the Rancor that we just saw, they're really for that HasLab, which is not going to go through. People are dropping left and right. The one character they finally put in the Rancor Keeper, who should have been the first stretch goal, but Ula should have been one of the figures. It should not have been Salacious Crumb.
Oh, it definitely should have been Ula.
Salacious
then you
Crumb
should
is
have
not
been
the right
able
way
to
to
kind
go.
Yeah.
I actually think they should have done it like Jurassic Park, where the monster comes down and eats the guy in the Jeep. They had a toy where it comes down and it eats the guy in the Jeep, pops up, and the dinosaur comes down and eats him.
That would have been really cool.
That would have been great, of where he just comes in and eats Ula.
It's just a shame that everybody's like,
And then you can open it up and you take Ula out and you put it back in, and
it would have been a
there's
great
no
stretch,
blood, so it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
but it's just people are looking at those stretch goals. I mean, Dave, just to let you know, I watched the Savage Proton Pack one today, and that last stretch goal, which I hope to get to, is the stand.
That stand is pretty
hopefully
nice.
Oh yeah, I've been eyeballing that because right after I did the unboxing of my Neutronoan, I think what I was on the other night when we were actually in the cantina is I went ahead and backed the HasLab Proton Pack, so I'm in.
Good. Very good. So I also want to plug the fact, besides the thermal detonator on the screen, which that would be a cool stretch goal.
That'd be fun.
Ooh, there you go. There's your drink.
I was gonna find one of my Cokes. All I have is a lid.
No, I got Sprite.
I got the Sprite and the Diet Coke next door.
I got a rock. I always have to bring back to Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah.
That's the second time this week I dropped that one.
That's funny.
But reminder that we have a special prize that we're going to give away at the end of the movie. So stick around, folks.
And that's not just some flimsy envelope, right? That's some solid.
No, it's got some weight to it. It's got some weight to it. I mean, it could be another envelope inside another envelope.
With an envelope inside of that.
Exactly. So here's something that I find very interesting. We've already seen in the trailer and all that for the Book of Boba Fett, many other rooms in the higher tiers of the palace, but they're all sleeping in the throne room.
Maybe those are just the stragglers that couldn't find a better spot. But it is kind of like everybody just sort of is tuckered out where they were partying.
Maybe there's a lot more drinking going on with Jabba.
He's Hugh Hefner.
It's the grotto.
And people are just, this is the grotto.
Yeah. Splayed out everywhere. I'd sleep over by Han. It's probably warm over there.
Yes.
So we've got
if you look
another
hard enough,
question.
you might find Bill Cosby up now.
Ooh. So we've got another question. I think Mr. Notman is trying to turn this into another episode of the speaker series. He's got all kinds of questions going on.
Oh, Jonathan's got some great questions. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
He just likes
Did
to hear
you
himself talk.
have any interactions with Richard Marquand as the only British director of a Star Wars movie?
Yes, I did. I said hi to him in London, asked him how the weather was. You know, that typical, I have nothing else to say,
Small talk.
you know, small talk. And it's like, here I am talking about the weather.
But did he offer you whiskey? No, I don't
No.
think so.
That
He
was
did
just
not.
a one-time thing.
He did not. But he did. He was picking out the very beginning part of, you know, he was working basically with the cast when he was up there. And then we worked with Peter. Oh, shoot. What's the first AD's name? We worked with him more on all the different stunt shots and the coordinators. Marquand was there when the first team was there, all the actors, and he was going along for the very first reveal scene, and he picked me for this, that I kind of didn't want to be in, because it was just like an extra scene when everybody, almost like the Wizard of Oz scene, the reveal of all the Ewoks.
Mhm.
And I knew it was going to be just, we're training for stunts, and we had to replace a couple of guys because two of the stunt guys who went to London got different jobs. And so we had to pick out some other guys to help Felix and I with the stunts. And so now these guys are kind of on, trying to be better than me. And so, I was trying to be, so now I had to do this scene. So I'm kind of bummed and pissed, and Richard called me out in the middle of the scene, said, cut, says, you there in the back, you, and he's pointing right at me. He says, you look rather bored. Can you give me a little bit more energy?
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, wow. And this was like the first thing that we're doing, very first. And I was supposed to be like upper tier because I'm a stunt guy and I get called out on that. So it didn't work well for me the first day. That was it. That was the only time he ever said something like that. But
Straighten up and fly right.
Yes, fly right. And so it was basically a cuff on the head, and then I was fine. Got my ears boxed, then I was good. I showed a lot more energy after that. You ever notice that when Chewie talks, everybody who knows Chewie knows what he's saying?
I was
We
just
just hear
thinking
the
that.
same thing that sounds like, the background, the adults in Peanuts. He sounds just like the adults in Peanuts.
Well, here's the funny thing is, even if I guess they answered that pretty well when you watch Solo, is in the mud pit.
Yeah.
Han is speaking Kashyyykian.
That's how he gets him to stop from killing him.
Yeah. Okay, so here's Luke tapping into his dark side powers, because would a light side choke somebody?
Luke does it all the time. And he's wearing the, just like my father, let's switch to the black outfit, and
Whatever happened to the spider, though, that when C-3PO and R2 come in?
The Bamar monk.
The
They're
Marmot.
cruising around, I guess.
Well, we already know that they're going to be in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, they showed him in the trailer for Book of Boba Fett. Because that's the temple, the Bamar monk temple or whatever, right? That
Yeah.
Jabba kind of took over.
Is this guy still alive?
Which one?
Bib Fortuna?
Yeah,
Michael
Bib
Carter.
Fortuna.
Michael Carter is alive.
Yeah.
He
I
actually
wonder
just
if he
did
got it.
a bunch of the shows. Well, I'm not quite sure because the thing is that for the end of Mandalorian season 2, they brought back Matt Wood for the scene and he was killed.
Yeah.
And Matt Wood played it Bib Fortuna in Phantom Menace as well.
Episode 1. Yeah, so they probably would use Matt again instead, since they've sort of established him as the current version.
It's funny, the puppet was set up with what's his name? He made the puppet and then he broke his arm and he wasn't able to do it. So different guys played the puppet, but the original guy who designed the puppet with Henson broke his arm and he wasn't able to perform that puppet.
Was it
Or
for Salacious Crumb?
Yeah.
When he was sitting there staring at Jabba's tail, he gave me a lot of Kermit vibes. The way he's kind of hunched over, looking around. He's got a similar shape as Kermit too.
It ain't easy being a Muppet.
Well, most of the guys who were all the different puppeteers in this thing were Muppeteers.
Right, exactly.
Is it a Muppet or a man?
Oh, look, there's your stretch goal bones right there.
Yeah, that was horrible, dude.
Good bones.
That actually caused me to not back it. Like I was like, that's horrible.
Just adding some bones.
And
Bones right there.
Yeah.
I like the Gamorrean guard because this is very, this scene is
Well,
amazing.
that'd be tasty.
Moochie.
Ooh, gee, yeah. Look at that other guys.
So we know that would you say a Gamorrean guard is pork?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I actually met Steve Constantino a couple weeks ago. What a great guy.
The
The
other,
Rancor wants
nice
me, baby.
guy.
Back, baby, back, baby, back.
it's the other green meat.
The other green meat, yeah.
He's got it's an interesting story of he driving out there with Billy's son, and they just said, come on out and play some music. So they just drive out to Yuma, Arizona and just hang out, almost like it was a Woodstock or something. And then they said, hey, you want to be in the movie? Yeah, okay.
He's got a great T-shirt that says War Pigs, and it's a picture of a Gamorrean guard.
Yeah.
Nice. Somebody in the chat asked if anybody prefers the thinner Gamorrean guards from the Mandalorian. I kind of thought they looked a bit off myself.
Yeah, because you're so used to the portly version.
Right.
But
that green
in the trailer, you see the robust version of the guards back again.
Well, Boba started feeding them well again. They'd been, under Bib, they've been on a diet, not a whole lot.
Well, because Bib ate all food. If you
That's
saw
right.
how he was big for tuna.
Yeah, fatty Fortuna.
Yeah.
And then they start eating well with, but still with the dad bod Boba.
I love this scene coming up. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, with the Rancor keeper.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. If anybody hasn't seen Return of the Jedi 150,000 times.
He's
You
just
killed
like,
Spot.
"No, my way."
Get out of the way. I got something to tend to.
One of the actors that was just announced this past week, which I was shocked about for LA Comic Con, was John Leguizamo. He's never done a con, and for those who are going there, he did the voice of the gangster boss in the first episode of season 2 of Mandalorian.
Was he?
So-
He just did the voice. He didn't do any actual physical
No, he
act.
did the live action with
Think
he was
about this,
in the
with no
suit.
digital effects, everything looks so, it still looks so seamless.
Right. They had their skill set down.
Yes, thank you very much, Chad. There's only one return, and it's of the Jedi. I still love that T-shirt. That went over very well at Comic-Con.
Mm. Oh, here's the setup for the Sarlacc. Yeah, I gotta tell all about it.
So the question is, does the Sarlacc do something to you that keeps you alive for that 1,000 years? Because after,
This is true.
a short time, you're probably not going to be alive while it's digesting you. Or is it just got a really slow metabolism?
So I hated this special edition version of the Sarlacc. I like the original pit. We don't need the puppet coming out.
Yeah. Although the miniature version in Doc Ondar's is pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of this special edition stuff in the Dunes is kind of
It's just like, oh, CGI.
not my favorite.
Oh, CGI. Oh, CGI.
Yeah, that one scene looked almost like a video game at first when they
Right.
first showed the Dunes. It's always fun to see the scenes where you can tell they're obviously looking out at a green screen or blue screen, like when Leia's inside.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Inside the skiff there.
Han's always been snarky, but I think he's got like extra snark in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Not particularly happy to be there.
Yes.
Hey.
So we had another question for Mr. Notman for Kevin. How
Yes.
many of the original cast or production crew members are you still in contact with?
A lot of the Ewoks I am, and so with Facebook you get to a chance to. Quite a few of the different. There's actually Dickie Beers, Mike Cassidy, and Larry Holt. I've seen. I used to see Mike a lot. Mike's daughter actually babysit my son. Dickie's daughter and my son used to hang out in high school together.
I saw him too the other day.
Now Dickie's daughter is a stunt gal, and my son is off doing his things with working with Tesla. So they're in different circles.
Sure.
Larry, I saw at Empire Con, and that was the last time I saw Larry. And that's so, but all the little people all the Ewoks I do see quite a bit. I see it. Saw Mike at a con the last time I saw him in London. Let's see, and I'm in his documentary.
Yeah.
And I just saw a couple of, I mean, because of COVID, we hadn't seen each other in a while, but now that COVID things are being lifted, you're starting to see more people. We had a convention, like a little people convention. We saw about 5 or 6 of the different Ewoks and things.
Cool. Do you ever see them when you go out for jobs?
Oh yeah, and auditions, and I work with them.
Right.
I was the young one. A lot of everybody's kind of retired now.
Oh, okay.
Of that group, I think Deep is older than me, but he's still working. Who else is working? No one else is really.
Tony is
from Jedi is
Tony's
really
been working solid.
Yeah, everybody. Chris, who worked with the stunts with me, moved back to Michigan. Mike Gilden passed away back in 2005. Felix just passed away. Debbie just passed away.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the guys who did a lot of the major things on it are gone. Not in the business.
When was the last time you saw Warwick?
When we were in London, when I went to London Film and Comic Con, I had dinner with his family his son picked out an Indian restaurant and ordered from the menu for us, and
Oh, nice.
he was hoot. He knew exactly what he wanted, and Tracy and I had never eaten Indian food, and supposedly the restaurant that we're at was a great one. Like, that's Dickie rolling down, and that was not supposed to happen. He was supposed to go. Most of the guys who fall down into the Sirik pit are supposed to go right down into it, and you have an air pad underneath it. And a lot of guys broke their legs and arms, and they had to go to the hospitals after this. A lot of guys got hurt doing those stunts, falling from the skiff into the Sirik pit.
We have to
So
bring that up, obviously.
Yeah,
since we're
that
doing
one,
the
see how he
countdown.
fell right into it? That's what he was supposed to do.
Hmm. We have to
So
bring up
Mr.
the
Diamond
line
asked me a question. Who would win in a straight knock them down, drag out fight between Ewoks and Jawas? I think Ewoks are more.
Do you really
physical.
have to ask that?
Well, here's
I
the
don't
thing
know.
is,
We might have to ask
we
that.
would eat
Is
them.
Tim in the chat tonight?
No, I mean,
well,
Start
the
fight.
here's the thing
they
is
can't
that,
even walk. Yes, they have weapons, but
who
we,
brings a spear to a gunfight though?
A skilled
basically,
spearman.
The fuzzy special forces do.
Wallace.
Yeah.
We're like Braveheart. We will out tactical maneuver them.
There you go.
Okay.
That's just one of those things.
My money's on the Ewoks.
It's not even, it wouldn't even be a fair fight. It would be, we would annihilate them faster than if the stormtroopers could take them out, and that they can't even shoot straight. We would have taken them out in, maybe it's 5 minutes.
If the deep fake people are listening tonight, I want to see the Battle of Stirling from Braveheart with Ewoks. Somebody get on that. I want to see that. That needs to happen.
Oh yeah. I want to play the best buddy, not the guy who loses a hand. The
There
dad.
Hey, there's
the crazy guy, the
Hut
crazy
Slayer.
Irishman. That's a fun one. Oh, I own the island. But that's after Sterling.
Yes.
He got a lot better at doing that swinging with Leia thing.
Yeah, she didn't
Good.
kiss him for good luck this time though.
Even though I'm not overly certain where that road.
Because he
would
knows
actually
what's
be
going
anchored.
on. He's not going to kiss his sister.
Well, she got to give him a kiss on the cheek,
Yeah, the Boba is now.
It was
digesting for
120
1,000.
degrees out there in Yuma, Arizona.
I wouldn't think working in the desert would be very pleasant.
Well, you got to
there's
think there was a
lot of
reason
picture-
why. Now, was Pink Shorts in? No, he was in.
He was in New Hope.
That was in Van Nuys,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Well, there's a lot of behind the scenes pictures of
That,
Anthony Daniels up on a looked like a gurney that was raised horizontally, vertically,
it was like,
just
yeah,
so
like a
he-
dolly.
so
he
he
could
could
just
relax.
lean back.
Right.
Yeah,
With his umbrella above him.
yeah. You gotta realize he was bolted into that mask.
Literally, yeah.
I mean, as much as we can complain about the Ewok mask, Anthony was. He was screwed in. When they put that in, those 2 screws on the sides of his eyes, they had a Makita going. Bzz, bzz. So when he got
One of
in
my
there,
favorite stories
he was in
from
there.
one of my favorite stories from the Rogue One premiere is Alan Tudyk actually went up to Anthony Daniels to ask him, so I'm following your footsteps. How did I do? And Anthony said, F off, you were not in a suit. I was like, wow, okay.
But if anybody knows Anthony,
He won't pull
you
punches.
just never know what you're going to get with Anthony.
Right.
Yeah, I've had
He was
lots
always
of-
kind. He was nice to me. So I never got. I've heard both sides of Anthony.
Right.
So
I was just
he
gonna say
was
the
never
same
like
thing.
that with me.
I've heard many people that adore him and love it, when
Right.
any interactions with him, but then I have a handful of
I
people
see.
that
Yeah, I've seen
have-
both sides.
bad interactions with him.
Like I had one at Fan Expo Boston where they had the tape on the lines on the floor, and he literally went to make sure that everybody was in order in the lines, and he was actually kind of maneuvering people to stay in the lines. And then when I went to see him in Chicago, we had a fantastic conversation about, because I get my Funko Pops signed on the top, and he was the first one to say to me, I love that because the ink and the paint stays on top as opposed to the plastic there. So I hope more people do that. But Mr. Dotman said that Paul Hirsch
I have
actually
a
said
I
that.
have a Funko Pop alligator.
Yes, you do. Which reminds me, I need to stop by the store before I see you next week. But Paul Hirsch said that it was almost like a mummification for Anthony, which I don't doubt.
Yoda's
This
got
will
some-
remind me of that meme that I put up the other day about before you buy a Christmas gift, a pet for a Christmas gift, and Grogu is a 900-year
commitment. That was funny. I have a whole bin of Grogu's behind me that you can't see. Be right back.
Oh, we can see the
Trooper.
trooper there.
So I like the day that they canonize the fact that Yoda's blanket is Qui-Gon's robe.
Hmm.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not as well. I had not seen that. Where does that come from? Where is that in canon?
I think I've seen it on like one of the not Wikipedia, but there's a great Star Wars Instagram. It's called Wookie Wida. Wookie Wiki. Wookie Wiki.
Okay.
Say that 10 times fast.
Wiki.
Yes, it's on Instagram, and they do a lot of canon and no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It is actually Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
They do a lot of posts about what's canon and legend and legacy.
There you go. That is an interesting one, is just to keep that around. So when he, fades out,
Yeah.
it's just like, the
I love the meme of
alligator
this
disappearing.
when he's sleeping.
So we had a
Force
great comment.
Awakens,
Oh, yeah.
the Force needs 5 more minutes.
We have a great comment by our Carl. He said, "Good evening. Is that Chet from Weird Science?"
Yes, it is. It is actually, and there is a toy came out as Chet.
That is.
Did you actually get to meet Bill Paxton at all when you were?
Oh
did that
yeah,
scene?
Bill and I we were all three, and there was another puppeteer little person in there with me, and we all went. He was supposed to do the mouth and do all the talking, and then I was supposed to do the left arm and breathe the thing, and just do breathing as to give it life of Chet.
Mhm.
And he did one take, about maybe a minute, 2 minutes in there. He said, I got to get out of here. He was very excited to do it. He really was. He was excited to play this part. But a lot of times when you're an actor, you don't realize what a suit performer is. And
Yeah.
it's a different world. And usually most actors that have gone into the suit have to realize it's a different world. They don't realize that it's a different world because it was a 200-pound outfit. No, 300-pound outfit.
Wow.
That whole thing that came down. And so when they lifted it up and the three of us got out, Bill said, "No, I'm not going back in. I'm sorry." And so now production had to wonder, now what are they going to do? I kind of just said, "Well, I'll do the lines." And so they went, "Oh boy, you can do the lines. Okay, you do the lines." So I had to learn his cadence. I had to learn all the dialogue, but not that me talking. And then I had to talk it, and then he was talking off to the side. And then we realized it was just not matching up, because by the time that I would hear him, because we didn't have any earwigs to go in the ears, by the time that he would hear, I would hear it, and then I would say it. It was just that fraction of a delay.
Right.
And so now I had to learn the dialogue and say the dialogue. And Bill said, "You know what? I'm good. I'm out of here." So he left. But I had to say his cadence. So I did all the dialogue with Kelly LeBrock.
That's awesome.
Nice.
She looked good back then.
I could see
Awesome.
of her with a little pinhole about that. That was about it. She was very nice. She was very, understanding, and didn't throw a fit that it's me in the suit and not Bill,
That's
which
good.
many actors do. And I didn't realize how, off and on I am throughout the rest of the movie in that.
Right.
And that was one of the first ones that what's the director's name?
Hughes?
Yeah.
Was that John Hughes?
John Hughes.
Yeah.
John Hughes directed. He had only
Well,
written
that
the
movie
other
was the
ones.
reason why that Anthony Michael Hall did not go back for vacation, the second vacation, because he wanted to do Weird Science. So that's why they brought in Robin Lively's and Blake Lively's brother to play Rusty in European, and he was supposed to come back. But he wanted to do this new movie with Kelly LeBrock and young Robert Downey Jr.
You got the star basically, as opposed to being
right.
peripheral.
Right. And he changed his whole character. That was the last time he played a dweeb. Then after that, he played the tough guy.
You went to Johnny Be Good.
Yep.
Well, Edward Scissorhand.
Oh, right.
That too.
He bulked up for Johnny Be Good. I know that.
And I love the fact that he plays he had played a reoccurring character on the Goldbergs, which is always a nice nod. And they did a great episode about the Breakfast Club that he was in. So Mr. Notman's killing with the questions tonight.
It is.
Kevin, during your original casting call for Jedi, did you know you were auditioning for the third Star Wars movie?
We had ideas, but we were told that it was not. It was not until I started receiving literature that actually said Revenge of the Jedi.
Do you have any of that stuff still?
No, stupid me. Well, I was at my mom's house and she would go, "What are you going to do with all this? Can we just throw it away, please? Can you clean up your room?" Yeah, I threw a lot of it out, most of it away.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020 when it comes to stuff like that.
Hindsight, it would have been really nice, yes. But I was stupid. It just was. Some people kept a lot of it. I do know of people who have a whole bunch of that type of stuff, but not me. Silly me.
But you kept a foot.
Kept the feet. Those feet were with they about killed me with because they had shrunk and there was I would get blisters I had taped up all over the place on my feet. Crazy. Now what's funny is really these guys didn't know each other were there. Is the ship that big? You know, hey, are you here? Yeah, I'm here. Really?
It reminds me of that scene in Spaceballs when President Scrooge is running down the hallway and gets into the cockpit. He's like, if I walk, it'll take up the whole entire movie. So
Well, I was wondering earlier, I mean, when Vader and Palpatine come and tour the Death Star, I mean, I know the big wide shot is a matte painting, or I think it is, but like
Stormtroopers were.
when they're walking, you're seeing hundreds of uniformed troopers behind them. Are those extras just blurred in the background?
Or is it did they discover to do this with a bunch of them and then do it here, do it here, do it
Well, they
here?
did that for the metal scene at the end of the original movie,
Yeah.
where they moved the groups through so they could get the shot of the big, huge group. I saw something recently of a matte painter painting that shot when the shuttle lands in the docking bay, though.
Mm-hmm.
But most of
I did
those
see that
troops
too.
were painting, and then they had them walk through the opening in the middle or whatever.
Right.
See,
Well, I
if
was
they-
just talking about the close up when you
Yeah.
see Vader and Palpatine talking. Is
Oh,
you
as they're
see, like
walking.
the lower half of all of the troops lined up, just kind of blurred as a background going by, and I'm just like, are they cardboard cutouts? Are they real?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Well, if they had Dave Filoni, he would say,
Could you imagine
hire the
lunch?
final first.
and Frozen.
And
No,
think
no.
about the wardrobe people and just storage of these people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of, it's not only costume, all these costumes, but then you have costume people to dress those people.
Yeah.
Then you have to have a Teamster driver for the trailers to change these people. So there's quite a few people that are production wise, not
They're
only because
wrangling
of
all
the
that
extras,
Right.
Lunch and snacks and drinks.
Crafty
That's
must have been busy.
Bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, extras, we're back.
They don't seem to
Extra
park
Wookiee.
those ships very organized. They're sort of clustered together. It's like you'd think they'd have them, in their own little spot. But
It's like a aircraft carrier.
Yeah, and the things that they do, didn't we just see like in the little transport, like 2 extra Wookiees? Oh, let's just throw some extra Wookiees in there, and that's all.
that
No one will
shot of
notice
the
it.
Falcon in the background was an extremely obvious matte painting, which was weird considering
Mhm.
the bigger versions of that. That right there with Han and Lando, and then Lando by himself.
Oh yeah.
It's like that meme of I'm gonna take that ship over my dead body, and then Lando's smiling at the end. And it's a scene from Rise.
He's all woohoo. So is this the last time that Han saw the Falcon before he sees it again in episode 7?
That is
No, surely
Sees
not.
it again
No, I think in
before
the
end of
books.
movie, right?
Yeah, not before the movie. I mean, it would have been a great scene in Endor if Lando's giving him the keys at the celebration before they hug. with the fuzzy dice or something, you know,
It's a mock dice.
the rabbit's foot.
Damn. Such
I love Ian. He's amazing.
Ian Bryce was the PA on this, was the major PA on this, who's now gone on to, now he's executive producer of all sorts of different things. Like, I think it was for Saving Private Ryan and a bunch of different, but he was just a little PA, and he could fit into the C-3PO outfit, is how he got to know the Lucas family. He did the mall tours.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so would he have been the 3PO with Andrew Nelson, or was that before or after that?
That was before Andrew Nelson.
Okay.
He was producing by that time, because he was producing, I think, Batman 2 with Danny DeVito.
There's really interesting continuity with how shiny or not shiny Vader's helmet is from scene to scene in this movie.
Well, it all depends on if the wardrobe got to it in time, or if camera said, you know, his helmet's too shiny. Can we dull that down?
What's weird about that helmet is it's got the panels that are, some are like on opposite sides, one's shiny and one's matte for different parts of the helmet. It's kind of like switched up. And then it depends on what version they're using, but like if you look closely at some of the other ones, you'll see that it's got weird like texture differences.
I'm sure they probably had like 8 helmets.
Oh, easily. Feel that force. This movie's making me want to go to Galaxy's Edge and fly the Falcon.
Ooh.
I got a great idea. You should go next week.
You're gonna wait 8 days? I don't want to wait 8 days. But I can't make a reservation, so oh well. I already have the reservation, thankfully.
How long does it take to make a reservation for there?
Well, it's
Like
not a matter
8
of
weeks?
well, you can they open up time slots depending on what type of ticket you have or pass, and then they fill up really fast. So my pass is one of the lower end ones, so it already has a bunch of blackout dates for this time of the year. And then the other dates that were available have been filled by other pass holders.
I see.
Chad, I'm intrigued. Why do you prefer Smuggler's Run to Rise of Skywalker? Smuggler's Run to Rise of the Resistance. I'm very intrigued by that because the thing, I don't
prefer it. I just said I miss flying it.
No. Someone actually said they prefer the Falcon to Rise.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Chad said that.
Which, here's the thing, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I got to fly Falcon. Lifelong dream. I remember being with Catherine Williams when we went on our family vacation and her crying, so she stepped through the doorway. But Rise is a whole different level. And honestly, after riding Pandora first, and then Smuggler's Run, I thought the graphics and everything was better on Pandora than it was there. I mean, yeah, it was the Falcon, but as a ride, didn't do anything for me. But it's more nostalgia. I would
probably a lot of the Q elements, and especially at the very end before you get in the cockpit. Spoiler alert. You're inside the Falcon.
Catherine, I do plan on riding the Indiana Jones ride. That is on my list.
See, I think one thing that makes Rise less special is using that ride technology over and over again in a bunch of their new stuff. Spoiler alert. You know,
Yep.
is it?
That was
It
Dickie
was
Beard.
special and it was amazing until I started riding the other rides with the same technology, and I was like, oh,
You mean the
Yeah.
trackless thing?
yeah. And
He was a
the
speed
wall
bike
projection.
trooper, right?
I love this scene. I love
They
that.
did all this footage was in Muir Woods.
Right. I remember hearing people talk about how they had done it with like a steady cam and then sped up the footage.
Yes, that's how it is. There's the very first Steadicam was brand new. It
Walked
was a
through
brand
the
new
forest.
piece, and he just pixelated it. He went one frame at a time and walked through the whole forest doing this.
And
Once
the
again,
sound
ladies and
guys
gentlemen,
are
if you're,
amazing.
thank you very much for joining us tonight, watching Return of the Jedi with our good friend Kevin Thompson. If you have questions for Kevin, please put them in the chat. And also, don't forget, at the end of the movie tonight, we will be doing a special giveaway. So stay tuned.
Oh yeah, and we haven't dropped a timestamp in a while. We are at 1 hour and like 6 seconds ish.
Yeah,
So
right
if we
around
could have
now, 40 years ago, the ILM model making began, and they hadn't even started. Filming begins on January 4th, and I came in about January 5th.
Oh wow.
And they didn't move to the US till about March 31st to start shooting Yuma, Arizona.
So if they could have one Ewok themed drink at Oga's Cantina, what would it be?
Probably a brown ale. Brown ale, and an Ewok brew, because we don't have ice, we don't have a blender,
Yeah.
but we
What's in
can ferment stuff. A whiskey be good, maybe.
What's in a yum?
I don't, like a Fern whiskey, because you wouldn't, we probably have potatoes, so we could probably have vodka. So we could do some, rum. I don't know how much sugar there is. I don't see any cornfields for whiskey. You know what I mean? So you got to see what type of stuff we have.
Oh yeah. Melissa just pointed
Yeah.
out the Yum Nub, the rum punch. There
Rum,
is,
yeah,
That's what I was
rum,
reading what it
There's
was.
plenty of fruit. We could probably have a fruity drink if we could figure something out that way.
So see, they're wrong. You need to be on the committee that does the menu for Oga's, because it says that the Yub Nub is spice rum, passion fruit syrup, lime juice, fancy pineapple rum or Malibu, and then bitters. But they
Because
combine all those ingredients in a shaker with ice.
Geographically
throws it off.
speaking,
yeah.
sugar is not going to grow where these redwoods grow.
Mm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
They have sugar beets.
Science is science. So I don't know where we're getting the sugar cane.
So they
traded for it.
The Ewoks
Sugar
all
beets.
commute to the sugarcane fields down the
Maybe sugar beets. We could do that.
That would be the other option.
We'd ferment sugar beets to make the rum. Sugar beet rum.
or like sugary grubs or something.
Yeah.
Jeff, what was I'm sorry. You're saying?
Now, everyone knows Warwick.
Is that your call?
No, that's just my brother giving me a call. Yeah, not
Jeff, what celebration was this when? Was it Anaheim where Warwick and Carrie recreated the scene?
Think so. That might have been an Orlando one though. I can't remember. I know that the Ewok sort of group that was together was at Anaheim Celebration, right, Kevin?
Anaheim and
then in
LA.
Europe. Oh, in LA
I
too.
don't know if there's. I mean, I never did a celebration in Europe,
Oh, okay.
so they might have had Mike, and they might have had Jack died right after this movie. He was working on his car, and an accident happened.
Wow.
Yeah. So you'd have Mike out there, Kenny.
I used to see Kenny pretty regularly at the LA Sci-Fi and comic book convention.
Yeah.
At the Shrine
He was
Auditorium.
he was really a good. He was really good to his fans. He's very. I mean, I learned a lot from the way that he treated his fans. He just was out there. People want to see him, and telling stories.
Mhm.
You know, just having a good old time. But Kenny, he was not supposed to do this. Kenny was supposed to do the same.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
What was Kenny like?
Kenny was just a fun guy. He was a lot of fun. Play his harmonica every night. Play, we get up with the band. Like if there was a dancing place right across the street, so we'd have to run across Highway 101 that went through the town, and there was a bar on the other side. So if you're tired, a lot of times I was too tired. I just, go back in my room. But they really had a lot of off time, the English guys, because we were doing either it was extra or, because when you really think about it, once the battle starts, they don't do really a lot. They do a lot of this. They do this. Like they're signaling us to do stuff. The one thing they did do was when we tried to trip the walker, and they realized they weren't stuntman, but not till afterwards. And it was a tough scene. It was really tough on them. Mike, I don't think Kenny did it, but Mike and Jack and Warwick did it. So that's
I can't imagine even walking through this set in costume with the limited vision, and it's got to be just insane.
of this it.
The indoor set is walking through all the foliage and everything.
Shrubbery.
Well, it's private land off in Smith River. It's a little driveway off of the highway that you would miss if you blinked. It's now if anybody found the GPS coordinates, it's now you'll be chased off with guys with shotguns on their back on quads. There's also a new housing area in there, so there's a private housing, so you can't really get in there. That's who lives on Endor now. And in the Ewok movies, Endor was on George's ranch.
Oh yeah, you talked about different parts of that movie that were shot near the house or whatever.
Yeah, he had a grove of redwoods on his 100,000 acre ranch.
It's a rough life.
Which is quite a big piece of property.
Imagine.
It's like in Texas, but it's in Marin County. The Beverly Hills County of California.
Northern California.
Yeah. Where a little 1-bedroom studio goes for $500,000. And it's a teardown.
Yeah.
And he has 100,000 acres.
Wow, that's huge.
Jeff, how's those ponchos look in real life? I saw that on that video
I was
today.
just looking at the coloring on Leia's, especially. The color is more sort of close to what Luke's wearing with the brown hues as opposed to the green that Leia had on. But they are kind of cool. Actually, was after seeing like the video you were talking about, the Ordinary Adventures folks doing their little merch stuff. It looks like it would be, cool for anybody. I don't know if they're just for women or if they're unisex. But I was looking at them when we were in the park. Well, I was in the park a couple weeks ago for Life Day, and they have, little greeblies on them and stuff. And, that was kind of cool, except for you had to make sure you got one that didn't get tweaked, like in shipping, because it's just like a plastic mold of whatever the thing is that's supposed to be on her poncho there. But
this was a tough scene for these guys because they couldn't really put a pad down when the stunt guys fell. They kind of they got their bumps and bruises on it. And somebody fell on R2, but they don't show it in the cut. There's Jack Purvis. RC
So the
Kenny.
eyes like a sunglasses
there's
type
Kenny.
of material.
Could you see through the eyes?
Oh no! If you get it first and then it fogs up.
Oh, because of the
Then the heat fogs
Right.
it up. That's Bobby Bell.
Mhm.
Jack. I would have liked to have played it much more tougher than these guys, how they play it. That's Kenny, Jack Dawson.
Some of those Ewoks look like weird cats to me.
Exactly. It's all cats, kind of in that sense.
Right.
They also look like dogs.
Oh yeah. A little bit like Manchi cheese. Remember those?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember Monty.
Yes.
Oh, I'm way in the back there. I didn't want to, I was trying to get out of the scene. And he caught me back there. You're pretty bored. They also put eyeballs in here now for us. They didn't have those in there. They blinked. We didn't blink at first.
Dave, timestamp?
Actually, trying to bend like this is tough because you got padding there, and it's a pain in the butt.
111.23.
111.23, 111.24, somewhere in there.
Cool. Thank you kindly.
I would imagine those suits
that
are
are
pretty constricted.
Yeah, it's very well. It's a 2-inch layer of padding for the fur coat, and then you had hands and feet over it, and then a latex mask. So it's pretty. And some of these guys, I was tall. I was one of the taller ones. So some of these guys have the inseam of a raccoon.
Good night, Chad.
That's
actually
one
like
of the masks I wore before, but that's not me.
So were you guys
of those.
actually carrying an R2 in that, even the small as far away?
Oh, here comes my first scene, my first big scene. Right, there we go. Yeehaw, zingo.
Yeah, bringing in lunch, dinner.
Bring it in the lunch. I do that 8 times for right before sunset, trying to get the shot with ILM cameras, the Vista Visions, and we were trying to get it before sunset because once it went behind the mountain, couldn't shoot anymore. So there was that whole magic hour.
Right. Get that golden light on the golden idol there.
Right. Now this is England. All these guys now are all the English guys.
Oh, and
we shot 5 weeks. They shot 7 days.
Oh, wow.
This is Mike Edmonds.
Notman wants to know how far the swing was.
Football field with a 40-foot crane.
Wow.
Over dead trees. It wasn't the swing out that was so scary. It was the swing back, because if you look at it, if you rewind it, where I go out of is I'm working here. Can you meow somewhere
We're
else?
mentioning cats
Can you
earlier.
meow somewhere else?
No, there's cats.
You have food.
I
You
give
have
my
food.
cat
You don't.
too.
But yeah, go away. The swing back is only 3 feet wide, which I swing out of.
Oh,
It's got, pointed wood posts on each side. So coming back, that crane operator had to swing me right ahead. Thank God he was really good, because he swung me right in between those posts to land me right back on my perch.
Wow.
nice.
That was the scariest part. I didn't get paid for that part, because I got paid only for the swing out. So it
Not for
became
the swing
much more dangerous on the swing back. But he said, the coordinator says, "Is that on film?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Was that on film? If it's on film, I can pay you for it." I said, "No, it's a swing out." He goes, "That's what I thought. I was waiting for you to lie to me. But the swing back is just," he says, "I can't pay you for it." It's like,
Well,
I
you
should let go.
camera
yeah,
rolling.
should let go into the dead trees.
Yeah, but Catherine, that's what Catherine asked, is how far were you in the air?
It was probably about 40. Well, it's a 40-foot crane, and then I swung over a ravine.
Ugh.
So the ravine was at least 30 feet, probably 30, 40 feet down, with just dead trees,
Wow.
all gnarled and
Right.
things like that.
Pit of death.
Yes. I had no idea that the village was out there. That was all a matte painting. They had just said on the very end, put your feet at like you were landing like a bird.
That's
What
true.
was the craziest stunt you've ever performed on film?
Pardon?
What was the
That
craziest
one was
stunt?
one of the, and doing that back is probably the coming back, because I could have been stuck like a pig very easily.
Impaled on
On Mirror Mirror, I did a 2-story high fall head first.
oh,
Caught on fire a couple of times here. On Ewoks 2, it was an easy stunt, and I got thrown into a wagon, but there was no pad, and so I hurt my I hurt my back, but it was still the middle of the day, so I had to keep going. It was actually my birthday, so then the stunt coordinator hit me with a cherry pie, said happy birthday to you, and then hit me with a cherry pie and ran away. He thought it was so funny. Yeah. Things backstage after a movie. It was like, cherry pie, and driving home all sweaty, cherry pie in me. Lovely. Lovely.
Another question here is, was any of the pyro a problem in shooting on indoor? I mean, you are wearing a large, hopefully not flammable wool, or
they were flame retardant, but I caught on fire 3 times, but it singed it, and they put me out right away. We had more that we blew up a lot of trees. This was going to be, the area was going to be logged anyway.
right.
So that's why they used the logging area, because it was going to be, we could blow up trees, because then they're just going to get them and, take them to the mill anyway. And, but sometimes big chunks of tree, because those trees are, 200-300 feet high. And when they blow up a piece of tree, sometimes it's a big piece of wood come flying at you.
Right.
It's a big, 20-foot piece of wood come flying at you and land. After a cut, you take your helmet off, and it's sitting right there next to you. Well, if I had been, a foot closer, I wouldn't be taking my helmet off. Somebody else would be taking my helmet off. It's not really a helmet, it's just a latex mask. that's full. So there's no protection.
Right.
In fact, it's not protection because you couldn't hear anything, and you can't see.
Right.
So you're just kind of going up there like Helen Keller.
You got to remember your marks and everything so you can.
This scene right here, Carrie was in the middle of Postcards from the Edge,
Mhm.
and she was really something else. And then she would go there. She didn't miss a beat. It's like a 3-minute scene. You know, when you actually time it, she didn't miss a beat. But then she on cuts in between, she's be going, "Hey, how's everybody doing? What's going on? You guys we're having a good time here, aren't we?" And she joking with the crew, and she just snapped right back into character. And it was just really just like, whoa, Luke, what do you mean? I can't be. I don't know anything of what you're like with this force and all this. Hey, what's happening, guys? Billy, what's happening? How are you doing? What do you mean?
Highly functional.
It was like, wow. It was actually kind of scary. I could see why Paul Simon was going.
Right. Which one of the films was she one of the script doctors for? Because I know that
she did a lot of films for the
yeah.
actually she became a very prolific writer and script doctor after not this one. Probably I think what was the one all about the like soap operas? She did that. She was the casting agent for all the really hot hunks. So she was the casting couch. It's kind of a funny bit. The guys were like, "What? Well, I just have one." She was like, they took it the different way. She was not the sleazy guy going after the girls. She was the girl going after the guys. It was a funny part. It's actually a really soap dish. Yeah, it was a funny. With funny part she had in that.
Sally Field and Kevin Kline.
Yeah. Yeah, any movie with Kevin Kline is a good movie.
Dave?
It was a great movie.
No, it's a great movie. It's a great actor. Yeah. It's like there are movies for everyone. It's like the whole Harrison Ford. Or have you ever seen a bad? Have you ever seen a bad Kevin Kline? There might be.
Everybody's got a couple of goof.
Well, yeah, he did a couple of after people started saying that. Then he did do a couple of turkeys.
There you go, turkeys.
His last couple of ones were this set was 30 feet above the floor. And so when I walked into the stage first time to see this, they opened the big elephant doors, and I walked right in. It's like, wow, look at this. It was just, and then 2 Ewoks walked by looking at the four of us going, who are you guys? It's like, we've been here for, rehearsing for a little bit, but now they bring 4 more guys in. Then we talk funny because we had American accents.
You need a lot of okay.
Spencer's having
Oh, craziness abounding.
Somebody found out you were recording. Oh, there it is.
I started it back up. Spencer's having connectivity issues and he's muted.
That's what goes on.
Well, the fact that they repurposed the Kenner Ewok village for Sherwood Forest.
Oh, really? They did.
And the Gamorrean guard for the Sheriff of Nottingham or something.
Yeah, the guy. Really? There was a character in that movie that was
rotund. And they used the body of the Gamorrean guard figure and put a different head on it.
Well,
painted it differently. Yeah.
I found out
the Ewok village is coming back out.
No, this was the original one back in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
when Prince of
They
Thieves came
they
out,
use the same die cast, whatever thing they call it, for
the mold.
another movie. Yeah. So they
But
had
they've
the
done that before with the Ewoks and stuff too, because isn't Chubbray the figure from the what
It's pretty
2013
thin.
the 2013 Kmart
Kenner,
exclusive one. But
yeah.
isn't it just like a repiece of different sculpts of the 83 Ewoks?
Yes. Yes. And no Chukka truck.
So
So you
when
need to sign up for that on change.org so we can get
yes,
a Chukka truck.
sign up for that.
Sign the petition.
If you can't find it, message me. I've got a link to it on my own page. Several other members do.
I put a link up yesterday, I believe.
There you go.
And I signed it.
I did too.
Think there were, well, it was however many signatures were required. We were, three-quarters of the way at least. So,
so Kevin, when that set came out in 2013, did they give you a heads up, talk to you about it, consult? Nope, just
Not at
came
all.
out,
The
you're
only
like,
way,
oh look, that's me.
The only way I knew about it is that somebody came up to me, because I hadn't been named before, and actually brought that box to me,
wow.
the toy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
you
looked
had
at it. And I went,
photos, I think.
I looked at the thing because I hadn't been in Kmart for toys, So that's, it's just, my son was 13. He was out of high school. So I wasn't looking for toys for him. It was a year after his high school. And so I missed the whole boat on that. And then somebody brought it up to me. I think it was Anaheim. And I was like, that's me. It says, the guy looks at me and goes, yeah, I know. That's why I'm bringing it to you.
That's awesome.
There it is. We need more of him too. Like in a box figure with a little backing.
Oh yeah, if you like a carded figure for that instead of just in the pack that
Right.
came.
Yeah, like a little packing
pack or whatever. There it is.
reissue. We need
Yes.
but we don't need the whole box.
I'm going to post up the link to the petition in the Facebook group right now.
So Dave, what do you think? Do you think the old gnarly dude in the back is Rex, like they're trying to say it is?
I hope at some point we get that. Is
Rex, yeah, he was just a local
possibly.
extra.
But he has the look.
Oh yeah,
And,
Right.
Theoretically, he could have joined back up with everybody at this point if he wasn't dead already.
yeah.
Well, I mean, they did say at the end of Rebels, that a lot of the Ghost crew were in the Battle of Endor. So
Yeah, a lot of these guys were Ewok, these extras who were either stormtroopers or rebels. They were the same, it all depended on what day they were, and they would put on a rebel outfit or a stormtrooper outfit.
Mm-hmm.
They played the same two different characters. And a lot of times they would, if they fell down, just stay down. We'll put a laser into you later. Don't try and get up, because you could, once you fell down, you couldn't get up.
I still love the fact of that Mike Quinn's head as Nine Nub is so much bigger in the sequel trilogy than it is in this movie. Like
they almost went Spaceballs on him.
Yeah. Same thing with Akbar. Akbar's head was enormous in this
Yeah,
sequel.
that's true.
Yeah. So that's Kenny right there, who's waving. He's got a little jumpy. He always loves to just jump. He moves a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a kind of a physicality that's kind of his own.
Yeah. Yes.
It's always so
He
funny
always
to me
sticks that tongue out.
when they put their hand over C-3PO's mouth to get him to shut up. So dumb, but whatever. All right, I posted the petition link in the Facebook group, so if anybody wants to go check that out, click on it and sign up. Be great to see some of those figures.
Kenny is the one that jumps on, and then it becomes Tony Cox after this.
You were
Tony
talking
works
about
a lot. Tony's the other one that works a lot still. Tony from Bad Santa.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
He's in a lot of stuff. He's done very well.
So you were talking about this scene where you could tell based on the arms, right?
Right.
Who was what at what time?
Now watch the arms on this Ewok, how long his arms are now.
Yeah. So it's a way to figure out who was in the suit at the time.
So much. He's got much longer arms.
Okay. So that swing, what was that? Where was that?
That's all TC.
Okay.
That's all this is TC. And that's me right there. So much bigger that guy was than Kenny Baker. Because I got a good almost foot on Kenny Baker. No, I got 6 inches on Kenny Baker.
That it can be a lot comparing, the size difference.
Well, it's 3'11" and 4'5".
Right.
It's amazing how in construction with big gaping holes facing space that thing could be operational.
Yeah, how would they seal that up? That's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief. That's all. A galaxy far, far away. They do things a little.
Well, that's where all that's you got to have your exit bay to land or leave.
Force fields.
That's one thing they kind of show you more of in the newer stuff, and especially on Rise of the Resistance. If you've ever ridden that ride, there's a part where you're in a craft that gets taken into a docking bay, and you actually see, if you're looking, you can see the force field as you go through it, which is very cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because all those would be docking bays, because all those ships that come out.
Right.
Now, do you know many Red Emperor's Guard?
Quentin Pierce is still around on the circuit. He signs a lot. It's one I know that's still.
Yeah. It's amazing. 40 years ago, it's still as, big as it was then.
Oh yeah.
It's still incredible the makeup job on Ian. Just after everything he's been through.
You didn't realize how young he was because it took him 10 years to go back to play this character.
Right.
The benefit of that was that it's all prosthetics for the most part. So, regardless of how old or young he is under the prosthetics, they can get
right.
As long as he can get the same, acting out of it, which I'm sure he could pick right back up.
Now, did anybody know that Rey was his granddaughter? Anybody figure that out?
Rey was a Skywalker. It's Rey Skywalker. Sorry.
I don't think the producers and directors knew that, even in the last movie.
It's Ray Dawson. I keep on telling you that.
Rey Mysterio. No.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio.
That's a good one.
Kent. It was Ray Kent.
Yes, Kent.
Yes, Kent.
Take your glasses off.
Perfect. Oh. Let's see. Did you get to this question while I was getting Jeff's link from the Facebook page and putting it in the chat? Did you answer this question? It said the scene where the stormtroopers and Ewoks were fighting hand-to-hand combat Where the Ewoks was picked up and thrown. Was
That
that
was me.
choreographed or that was you?
That's me.
And so was
It
that like,
choreographed? Yes.
Yeah.
It's Julius LaFleur picks me up and throws me.
so that
He's been doing some shows lately
stunt
too.
double for Billy D. Williams. He's a big guy. He was also a fireman.
See, that's the show. That's a shot I would love to do. Is if we could ever see Kevin and Julius on a show together, is get that screen cap signed by both of them.
Mm.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he had to throw me. He didn't know where he was throwing me, and he hit the pad. You know, a 6-inch pad to and it's all covered up in grass and ferns and stuff, so he can't see it. And luckily, all 3 takes that we did it, he finally was like, "All right, enough already. How many times do I got to throw this guy?"
right.
Yeah, and just like in general in Star Wars, they're very cavalier about the vacuum of space. I mean, none of their fighter pilot helmets are fully sealed. I mean,
No, you got a lot of oxygen in there, so isn't that also very flammable?
Yeah.
yep.
How'd you like to put a helmet on Nub Nub?
Which they
That'd be a
did.
heck of a helmet.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
giant.
watch Force Awakens. He's got a full helmet on. And he's flying an X-wing. He has a huge noggin,
Yeah.
which good for
Have
Mike
they
Quinn
realized
again.
that the guy from Kim's Convenience was the X-wing pilot in Mandalorian?
Yep,
Him and Filoni.
him and
That was a
Filoni.
funny show.
Mm-hmm.
Kim's Convenience. That's a hilarious show.
Starting to do cons too. He did a. I actually got a print from that. And he's a member. He was a member of the 501st before he even did Mandalorian as
Really?
as a cosplayer.
Oh, that's funny. That's great that that he got to play.
Super
He's a
fan.
good
actor.
actor.
Yeah.
Really funny. I mean, somebody turned me on to that show, and it was just like, this is hilarious. Why is it?
Right.
Why aren't there more shows like this on American TV?
I've heard good things about it. I haven't caught it yet.
Definitely catch it. It's a very funny show. From the very beginning, it just grabs you, and it's belly laugh, but it's also heartwarming. Every episode is heartwarming, all about family.
Right.
But it's a dysfunctional Korean grocery store. That is that, and it's hilarious.
Catherine's over here cheering for Luke to Snoke Palpatine.
Yeah.
Got a saber sitting right there.
Directed by George Lucas. That's all it is.
Yes. Right. That was that one didn't move. That was a non-portable. We didn't, and that one actually back there we didn't see that one moving either. But the one that was sitting there with the guy in it, it was actually there the whole time. And then they would pick it up and move it with a forklift.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So to go with Catherine's comment on the chat, what was it like working on It's Always Sunny?
Always Sunny. Sunny was great. All those guys were great. They did the pilot for that for $100. So it was a bunch of friends coming together, especially the 4 of them. And they said, and it's, they hit pay dirt. Here we go.
Here's the party.
There's
the party.
Everybody.
That's there's Mike.
So
Mike's
it's like
the white guy. That's me.
Kevin's in every other scene.
That's Tony Cox. That's me. That's me. That's me. No, that's me. That's me. That's me.
It's a great
That's
drinking
me.
game.
Over on the right.
You'd be dead.
It's like
That's me up on the
Roxanne
thing.
at
I'm
the
running
end of the
across.
song.
This
I'm in
needs to
there
be a
somewhere.
drinking game where you
Yes,
drink
yes.
every
You
time you see
should.
Kevin.
Yes, we do that next time.
Just get totally
You
lit.
really
during
have to
this
get
scene.
started. All right, I'm first guy. No, it's the second guy in that one. I'm sorry.
Ooh, second.
Kick those troopers.
Dave, have you ever heard the Roxanne drinking game?
Oh yeah, there's the whole list that what will we do?
Here
in
I
the
come.
movie, you print them all out.
Bam. First guy.
It's like you take a shot every time you hear Roxanne, every time you hear turn on the red light.
Yeah.
So at the end of the song, it's like
Shots or something.
Oh, I died.
Oh, there was the
Oh, that
whole
was me
list.
getting thrown.
Oh, and everybody gets dragged.
So how many
That's Felix
Ewoks
going
did you play
down.
that died?
Oh,
Did you only play a couple
this
that
was
died,
a
or
heck
did
of a
you play a
scene.
handful?
Of all this, we did it 5 times. These guys getting drugged for 4 seconds. Up, second guy. That's me running by.
Hmm.
I couldn't do this scene. I was doing something else. I couldn't get the damn bola.
Oh,
It was just one of those things.
yeah, that thing takes like a weird rhythm to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And throw it properly.
I think I was doing when the guys learned it. I think I was doing something else because I came in halfway through it. I'm like, how'd you guys get this?
Oh, there's the catapult shot. There's
Ooh,
the
nice.
catapult shots.
But Sunny was a great. We had a good time. It was a fun little bit.
I love that catapult.
I'm pulling the damn thing. Oh, it's first scene of Chubbray.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, run away! That's me. Oh my gosh, run
Yeah.
away, run away!
I've never
Mike.
noticed Tantive 4 in the scene.
Let's see those trees blowing up. There's like big 6-foot
Big.
pieces come flying at us
Ugh.
with that.
Yeah, those trees got split apart.
Yeah. Then they got cut and lumbered, and it's
Right.
now on your redwood porch,
Yeah.
Siding on your house.
siding on your house.
The catapults, that's an amazing toy. That's one that's
Yeah.
The scene coming up is a scene that you were saying what's a very dangerous stunt. I had to hit I was up 8 feet in the air, and I had to hit a little mini tramp, jumping down and hitting that little pad. And then as I hit it, a guy does an explosion with a detonator right behind me, and I have to go over I have to travel 8 feet over a log.
Oh.
And it's right after Billy says, we got to give him a little bit more time. Cuts back to Endor, and that's me flying. But that was 1 inch to the side after jumping off the platform. It could have been broken leg easily. And it just happened to hit it 1 take. All right, let's go. Move on. We're never going to get that again. We got it, so we don't need to get it again.
Well, that's probably better for you, right? You don't have to
Oh
go
yeah,
through that
1 take. Let's move on.
multiple times.
All my friends who get hurt, it's always the second, third take that you
Right,
get
exactly. I was going to say, the more you
Yeah.
do the same thing, the less likely
Yeah.
you are to come out of it unscathed.
All right, here. All right.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Boom. It's that quick, but at the setup and everything of that was much crazier.
right.
And then there you are in the next scene.
That's
It's
me
like
right in the middle.
Yeah,
right there.
beating the
That's the one where we
the
were
butt
supposed
into
to.
your stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought we had balsa wood props, and we had real props, and we knocked the snot out of them.
The
They're
armor,
like, oh my
it does
God.
nothing.
Yeah. Well, we had real props. Well, we had balsa wood props, and then they changed it and they gave us real props, but we didn't know we're in our outfits. We just said, like
Yeah,
this.
you
We
just
get our
grabbing what
prop,
they
and it's
hand
like,
you.
you go out there.
Yeah. Uh-oh, here it comes.
The famous line that everybody, see how we skip? They didn't like us skipping, but it was so much easier to run.
Mm.
This is Debbie's fighter. This is the, I mean, the emotion that comes out of her.
Yeah,
Right.
her body language
Yeah,
is
she really
amazing.
does a great job.
Oh, there you go, running through. All right.
I had the experience of sitting at a table next to her table at Celebration Anaheim while she was doing autograph signings, and she was amazing with the people that came by to talk to her.
Yeah. That was me that ran by. If you didn't say that.
Yeah, so you just right straight at the camera. See,
But
I'm watching for you. I'm
that
comparing.
It's too bad. What is too bad is that she never got. I mean, as you say, some people say it's one of the top 10 saddest scenes of
Right.
in cinematic, especially in the Star Wars family, and she never even got a SAG day for that. I mean, she got SAG for the Ewok movies. And
Wow.
then she also did Captain EO. She was one of the characters in Captain EO. But what she's known for is Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall. She had
the little hooker.
Mm-hmm.
And most of that was her telling Verhoeven, "Hey, don't you want me around a little bit more?" The guy goes, "Yeah, all right. Let's just keep her around for a little bit more."
She was great in that movie.
And so she got that whole stabbing scene. That was all.
If you need help with this one,
later
give
on.
me.
She wasn't
If you need help with
supposed to
this
do
one,
that.
give me a call.
I remember
Definitely a memorable scene.
She did some episodes of Married with Children, I think, too.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure she did tons of other things as well that I can't remember.
This is now watch this. These are
Ooh.
that's me on the brown one. It's a different outfit I have on.
Mm.
Now look at the
Hanging on to
faces.
Chewie?
That's me and another guy, Dan, and we go running. Now once inside, that's me and Dan. Once it's and that's Robert Watts,
Oh, wow.
the producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a girl getting thrown. That's actually a girl stunt person.
The troopers that dressed like Devo.
And this is, I think that's Robert Watts. Now look, the faces are different. Look at the face of the Ewoks. That's Tony Cox in there, and Lydia Green or Graber. They took them down to ILM.
Oh, nice.
That's me right in front. That's me. I'm gonna die right now. Oh, I'm dead. But I'm also in the. But wait a minute. He's here. He's there.
Everywhere.
Very prevalent Ewok.
See, it's completely different Ewoks. Did you ever notice that when watching?
Oh no.
So quick cuts and so many Ewoks.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm up there on the right. That's Tony Cox. I don't know why. I mean, no, that was Felix.
I love
Silla.
how
I
the
don't know why he never
perception.
signed that picture. He was black.
I'm also ATST.
Yeah.
How small, that looks like the head is of the ATST. But if you got two Ewoks and Chewie, and it looks massive inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, boy.
Boink. We've got the upper hand now. That was a dangerous scene. Trying to walk out on a damn, not being able to. You ever walk on a log blindfolded? Close your eyes and walk on a log. That was the first one. Bam. Take out an ATST. Up, that's me waving. Up, but I'm pulling the thing. Wait a minute. I'm everywhere.
That's funny. Oh.
It was like that joke in Mandalorian that no one could take to an ATST.
Hold my beer.
And then in season 1.
Hold my beer.
Like the Ewoks, like hold my beer. Exactly.
I tag out.
That was
3.
the meme.
Yeah. I guess we need one of those.
Yeah.
an ATSD can take out a whole squadron of people.
Not Ewoks.
Hold my
Hold
beer.
my beer.
Yeah,
Special
you're talking about
forces.
Jawas. Have you seen a Jawa take out an ATST? I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. They can field strip a Razor Crest in 20 minutes.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
Jawas are pretty
you know
quick
what?
at dismantling
We can-
stuff.
We can just debone anything.
Yes.
We can debone a Wookiee.
Well, they did set up that trap that did get Chewie caught and everybody else.
Exactly.
So they're ready to catch some big game.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, please.
Bring
Oh, so you're
me
saying?
any. Look, I've met those Jawas. Bring me any Jawa. I'll kick their ass.
Again, is Tim in the chat?
It's Tim Thompson in the chat.
Just gotta set this up. Battle Royale.
That
You want
might
first.
to happen in Anaheim.
Oh.
As we all stroke our beards. So just another reminder, stick around after the movie because we're going to have a special giveaway of what's in the envelope. What's in the lope? Hey, Heather. Nice you
Felix, I
join
want
us.
your magic
Welcome.
bag.
There you go.
Are you guys too young for that?
I love
Felix
Felix
the
and
cat?
his magic
Felix the
bag
cat.
of tricks.
Felix the cat. The wonderful, wonderful cat.
We have Felix Chevrolet downtown, so you can never forget
Yes,
about
we do.
Felix. I took my car there to get some recall stuff done not too long ago.
Was it Total Recall?
No, it was only a partial recall.
Ah. That's what
We
they should
run
have
like
called
this.
the remake.
Huh?
The remake was
Huh.
partial recall because it was nowhere as good as the original.
We've got some new people coming in, so I'm just going to give a
Timestamp.
time code. We are at 1:50:45.
Yep.
1:50:45.
Ooh.
You see, I see all these ships, and we all think about the glass, but I still think of the scene from First Contact, and that's how I'm picturing how every window is now. It's just a force field.
Is it my turn to say we don't hawk the Trek?
Yes.
I think. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Tricky,
Now, is
tricky.
that Han talking with the microphone above him?
Like, oh, hey, look, I got all my Ewok.
Who would have thought that we would have had? No, he can't be because there's Han. So
Yeah.
who
Right.
was talking on that speaker
Loudspeaker.
up on top of the roof?
Mm-hmm.
This was a big to-do. This was a big blow up. They blew this sucker. There was actually a scene when I was running towards the camera right after the death scene.
Mm-hmm.
Is actually the blow up scene behind it is actually the bunker blowing up. Glenn Randall stole a camera and said, I want to get a shot of the big blow up and you guys running that camera.
Mm.
And so I'm trying to get, he created another scene because they didn't really need, we had all these cameras. He said, let me just get a camera. And so I didn't get to see the blow up. Everybody was hoping to see the blow up. I was actually in the shot.
You were facing
But
the
they
wrong
used it.
direction.
Wow.
Just in the wrong, running away from the explosion. And you could feel the concussion coming back. And,
Right.
Catherine says, if we look hard enough, you can see the secret door where they're hiding the holocron. Wayfinder.
I bet they got some black kyber.
well,
crystals
there
in
is some fun footage of like when you look at when all the different things on the Death Star, and then you see Phil Tippett come out of a trap door and he's looking around going, and he comes back down.
Matte painting.
Luke's letting his hate flow.
I loved Phil Tippett's work when they brought him back for Mandalorian season 2.
Amazing stuff. No one does it better. I mean, there's the originators and things,
Right.
Harryhausen and whatever, but he does amazing stuff.
Yeah, we just went to, it was a 50th anniversary 40th anniversary, 50th anniversary of Empire.
Yeah,
the 40th
40.
was last year. Yeah.
Yeah, but we had a thing at 1032 Studios, which is the old Lucas Studios. It's now George sold that and somebody else uses it now. But we had all the old guard over there at a party there.
I remember seeing those pictures. They're great.
Yeah.
So Mr. Nauman says he heard that you met up with Phil Tippett back in October.
Yeah, that's when it was. Yeah.
Oh, so that was the event, the get together.
That was the event.
Oh, here comes there we go.
So all the big wigs were there talking, and Kirk Thatcher was actually really giddy because the Haunted Mansion had just come out. And he was a PA at Lucas, and here he's now he's directing. So it was really fun.
Cool.
He was actually Ewok Wrangler on Jedi.
Oh, nice. Good to have those connections.
Oh,
okay, so that's another misheard or terribly quoted Star Wars next to Luke, I am your father, of if you not return, then you must be destroyed. But everybody says, if you will not be turned, you must die. Like people change those lines. Like, all the
you
time.
will die.
Yep.
You will die.
You will die.
Oh.
You can imagine him the night before. You will die. You
yeah, going over.
You will die.
I love this scene so much.
Yeah. Especially the no.
Oh.
No.
I just love how torn Vader is at first, and then he just says,
"Yeah."
And those effects are so. I mean, it's mind-boggling for me to think that somebody went in and painted that on every frame.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Does it kind of remind you of that weird neighbor kid who would pull the legs off the bug, and you kind of go, I really don't want to hang out with you.
It likes torturing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll pass.
Let's go tie some firecrackers to somebody's tail, so the cat's tail.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too fun.
Yeah, those kids were the ones you wanted to avoid. And still do, probably.
I guess that's why I didn't have any fans.
When they released the figure of Vader where you could see the skeleton.
Yeah, the Black Series.
Well, they did it before the Black Series. They did it in one of the other lines after Power of the Force, or maybe even Power of the Force. But when they did that originally, it was just like, that's the coolest thing, even though it wasn't implemented as well originally as it was later on. But
I always wondered, why did he die? Because he's the Emperor. He's got so much knowledge of the Force.
But did he?
But
well, then we find out. Yeah.
I love just how the electricity is still failing from his hands on the down.
You think he'd be
Oh
able
my
to
God.
control that, maybe control where he goes, find a vent to fall through, and get
right,
to come
exactly.
pick him up. And
So in your head canon, he's falling down the shaft, Iron Manning it the whole way down.
it's like,
Oh yeah.
those are repulsors.
We need a 2-screen meme. The top one says, just like when I fell, So falls the last Skywalker, and underneath it, it needs to be Kenneth Jong. But did you die?
How about why do we fall, Master Palpatine?
Mm. This scene inside the Death Star always makes me think of the Star Wars arcade game.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
always wondered too is that if the X-Wing was a better fighter, why didn't they make Empire's X-Wings,
Oh, right, like Imperial X-Wings, yeah.
Imperial X-Wings?
well, they had the TIE fighter.
The twin ion
Well,
engine.
the TIE fighter wasn't as good. Or was it just faulty
It's that low
pilots.
bid thing that government contracts,
Oh, okay.
See that one little thing right at the bridge takes down the whole thing. Why?
And serious, like all of a sudden it's got like super gravity attached to it.
Gone. Like they could have this was the original Holdo maneuver right there.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much. Just make your ships go against you, basically.
But don't worry, your leader is being dragged across the floor right now. But that's cool.
By some rando.
Save
Thankfully,
yourselves,
they just
save
came through with
yourselves.
the Zamboni waxer and waxed that floor up. Otherwise, he would have
Yep.
been harder to pull.
Well, that's one
Well, he's
of the
he's
things
on
I
a little
loved.
flat skateboard too.
Oh,
Well, one of the things I loved, especially in the last episode of season 2 Mandalorian, is the fear that Moff Gideon has of Luke. Because if you remember, his reputation was based upon he went into one room, Emperor didn't come out, and he left carrying a limp Vader.
Yeah.
So
I never thought about it that
Wow.
way.
So he was feared because of that alone. So
Yeah, Moff Gideon never saw him, playing pew pew with his little start, X-wing model.
With his T-16 Skyhopper.
That's right.
That's the other figure that from this movie that I was very happy when they came out with was removable helmet Vader.
The Billy Joel figure?
Yeah,
yes,
that harmonica has got the power of the Force.
Yeah.
power of the piano
Hey.
man.
I think it's an ode to Kenny Baker.
Huh? Because he loved the harmonica. Speaking of Billy Joel, I'm gonna see him in Vegas in February.
Very cool.
And the night before, I'm gonna see Metallica in Vegas.
Nice.
Same venue.
Aren't you going to see Foos next month? There, I mean, this weekend or
Saturday.
sometime. Yeah.
Saturday Foos. Friday LA Comic Con. Saturday morning LA Comic Con. Saturday night Foos. Sunday night LA Comic Con meetup.
Oh wow,
It's
busy man.
weekend.
Yeah.
I see when
Wait,
you're
no.
driving, right?
No.
You're flying for the concert.
Mm-hmm. So much easier. I live 10 minutes from LAX. I get in and out. I'm good. People hate LAX. I do not hate LAX. It's very
Well, not
convenient.
if you're 10 minutes away.
So are you gonna fly to John Wayne?
No, I'm gonna get it. Yeah,
Fly from LAX to John Wayne.
Yeah.
that's what I somebody posted about airfare to Celebration, and I said, "Do you think I can get a good deal from LAX to Santa Ana?" Like, okay, no, there's really.
But
It'd
the
be
funny
more
thing
like
is, then you kind of overshoot it, don't you? You
right, and
overshoot
you have to kind of come back up.
Yeah.
What I need to do is drive up to Santa Monica Airport and get Harrison to fly me down in his helicopter.
But you're not gonna be able to land.
No, well, he lands, but he doesn't land well. And if it's in a helicopter,
land,
you can just
no.
drop
He eventually
rope and
comes
I'll
down.
Rappel. That's the other thing. He crashed near my work as well in Santa Monica, so that was an interesting day. Right on the Penmar golf course over there.
But Han,
Oh,
People
there's
are
more
commenting
of
about
us.
not understanding all the troopers just seeing Vader being dragged across the floor. And I'm like, no, these troopers are like the guys when Kylo comes out with the sabers. They're just like, they see it. They know he's doing it. They're just like, I'm having no part of this.
they
I'm
turn
on
around and go the other way.
Nope.
Yep. Don't want to be involved.
So,
Thank you very much.
Is Endor have nuclear waste falling to them? You know, we
One
always
of the
talk about
moons.
space junk falling.
There's got to be a lot of stuff that is going to hit their planet from that
One of the
explosion.
moons had it, I mean,
Yeah,
intact, a big chunk of the Death Star.
a good
So
third of it. It looked like it blew up more than that to me, but anyways.
Right.
yeah,
Well,
but
Well,
Palpatine
we
returned.
kind of have like a acid rain for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, that would definitely be some sort of biohazard or
But see,
chemical
Ewoks
hazard.
are so tough. Hold my beer.
Yep.
We're fine.
well, but what's powering
live through it.
the big Death Star weapon is kyber crystals, right? So I'm thinking Ewoks with lightsabers.
Oh yeah,
There it is.
lightsaber spears.
Or kyber crystal spears.
Spearheads.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You wonder that's why Mandalorian has not gone back to Endor.
Oh yeah, that's going.
Well,
They've done it hard.
I want him to run across
Oh,
a
that's me.
badass
That's
Ewok
Tony.
bounty hunter.
Do you think the acid rain would destroy Beskar?
Yeah.
The juices of the Sarlacc didn't. It just ate away the paint.
Right. Well, is that Beskar or what's the other one? Something steel.
Durasteel.
Yeah.
Vibranium.
I've heard yeah, vibranium. Heard conflicting reports on what Boba's actual thing was made out of. Hey, look, it's fireworks
Okay.
over.
Okay, we get it, Notman. He said, "Roll call. Who found their own kyber crystal?" Well, Jeff did, but I think he said it's a shot at me from Florida.
No, it's not about finding your own kyber crystal because you can go get your crystals.
Yeah, no, he's taking a shot at me because
He didn't say
gave
anything
his
about a black
extra black.
crystal. All right, we're free.
We saw free.
So a lot
I
of this,
love this. The crowd surfing stormtrooper that's coming up.
oh, there he is. The CG on this from '97 is not horrible.
No.
Still better than Scorpion King.
Well, that's not hard to do. What about the first Spawn? Do you remember the CG in that movie? They spent $12 on it.
And I prefer the original song in the scene as well.
Yeah, this I was just gonna say you really need Yub Nub in this.
Yep.
In this weird, whatever it is.
And Sebastian Shaw. I read an article recently that George directed Hayden for this, and he just said, "Okay, look to your right, smile, look forward, and smile." He had no idea until they did their re-release that he was shooting that scene. He's like, I would have given more emotion to that if I knew what we were doing, but George would not tell me.
Faster, more intense.
His directing style. Who did that?
Act better.
That cartwheel.
Just act better.
Yeah, act better. There you go. Who did the cartwheel is in the Ewok costume?
That's Nicky Reed. He was the other kid.
Oh, okay. He's very spry. Here it comes.
We still need a set with Sebastian in it.
They're actually doing the old white man's dance of the 80s.
The original the original Spirit
the
set
Carlton
is
the
Sebastian.
Carlton.
The Carlton's classic. All right.
Well, once again, this is always a pleasure. Once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Kevin.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I had a great time. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Can't wait to see you.
Absolutely, sir. So just want a couple of plugs before we do our giveaway. Jeff, punch it, Chewy.
Punch it chewy. So we got the shirt coming up that what was it, 15 more people. If
Yep.
we get a good dozen and a half people, we'll get free shipping for the new shirt, which has got a great graphics on it of the Falcon and of the cockpit, and it's cool colors, and those shirts are amazing. I love that style. That racing team style is very cool.
Dave has it right next to him.
Wow,
there's the original, the first version, the virtual Cantina. So we have a new virtual Cantina Punch It Chewy shirt, and it's different color scheme, and it'll be a great photo op when we're at Celebration.
Really, dude?
What? Where? What? We're there.
It's gonna be a great photo op at Celebration.
You
It is
can
gonna be a great photo.
We can do it the night before. We'll have a
I
great
am not
photo
gonna be a
op.
great photo op at Celebration.
You're going to be there. It's okay.
You'll have your own version of that shirt. He can make one out of the other one. He can make one of the new
Now
ones.
Kevin's laughing at the doll. And Dave, tell us what's coming up with the VCN.
The VCN, like I've said, on the YouTube channel, on the network, we have all the speaker series archive, the Jedi archive, the Unifying Force archive, tons of unboxings, lots of that coming out every day. Speaking of which, those of you, I know you're out there, I can hear you breathing. Send me some unboxings. If you get cool stuff, I'll slap our logo on it and I'll put it up on the channel, because people want to see what you're getting too, not just, what we're getting. So, cool stuff always. Send us your unboxings. We'd love to see it. And stick with us in the weeks to come between now and the end of the year. Excuse me. The countdown to the Book of Boba Fett continues. All of the big arc, and we'll be live on the channel sometimes we'll be live on the Facebook, sometimes we'll do both. We're everywhere. Come see us.
Excellent day. So thank you for sticking with us tonight. Let's do the trivia. Now, everybody in the chat is eligible.
So on Facebook chat.
On the Facebook chat.
Me?
Ooh. I don't think there was any stipulation that excluded you.
And then the first person to answer this question correctly that Dave sees on his screen will win the special prize. And we will open it up tonight so you can see what's in the envelope.
Okay, good. I was wondering if it was going to be mystery surprise in the mail, or
I think this is too good to be.
Yes, I agree.
Could have been a good unboxing video though.
Oh, but you must do an unboxing to whoever wins.
Still can be a good unboxing video.
Everybody in the chat is eligible, whether you won an award or if you're a council member. So the question is, the Air Maestro, John Williams, is not the only musician in his family. What 80s rock band does his son helm that had 2 songs performed by a big 90s rock band last year? What's the name of the band that John Williams' son is the lead singer for?
Ooh. Are we seeing answers?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're seeing answers. I think they're popping up there. So let's look in my scroll and see. The first person who has it correct would be. Well, go ahead, and before I tell you the first person that has it correct, go ahead and you can give us our answer, Spencer, because it's there. It's out there.
The answer is Toto.
Yes, the answer is Toto. So the first person on my screen to get that correct is Heather Ersatz.
Congrats.
So congrats, Heather. So I am going to turn
The
off
pride
my
of
virtual
Grant High
back.
School.
I'm going to turn off my virtual background
Oh, yes, because we want to see.
to show you what you won. So here's the envelope.
It's a lovely envelope that you won.
Heather, please make sure you message me your address so I can ship it out to you. And you have won a copy of Natalie Portman's Fables that is signed by Natalie.
Dick. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That is very cool. I should have answered in the chat. Damn it.
You just
So
weren't fast enough on the phone.
So
Yeah.
congratulations there, Heather. I know you want this prize. So send me your address and I will ship off the book for you. Congratulations. We'll have more giveaways in the next couple of weeks, as well as if we get to 900 subscribers on the VCN, there'll be a nice prize pack for you.
Today, last check, we were sitting at 830. So you got
Yes.
you got some work to do. Let's get more people.
Get your friends to subscribe too.
So once again, thank you so much, Kevin. We're so happy every
we
time
had a
you
great
come on
time.
here. It's
Thank you.
so much
Thank
fun.
you.
Every time I learn more and more every time I do that. And Dave, you need to get him a shirt.
I know. Yeah, we can make some
Hey.
stuff happen.
That is the shirt. That is the bomb, dude. Thank you.
Really,
awesome.
It's actually very neat to see your face on someone else's chest.
Mike,
Yeah.
is Mike still here?
No, Mike's not here. Yeah, there's a joke
It
there
didn't
somewhere.
really come out the way that I.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
before we close out, anything you want to say, Kevin?
No, thanks, and hope to see you guys all. Well, I hope to be invited to Anaheim, but I know there's a lot of other people that are very deserving to be there. But I hope to see you guys there, and I hope to have some news coming up with before Christmas. That but I don't want to say anything because we're very close.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Kevin will also be seen at the Bunta Eve Cantina the night before celebration as the host for Alderaan Idol.
Yes, and I'll be
very awesome.
I'll be at Pasadena Comic-Con at the end of January.
Great.
Fantastic. Hefe,
Yes, sir.
any closing words?
Just a fun time as usual, listening to Kevin's stories and insights on the movies and hanging out. It's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Dave.
I always love this movie. You guys have heard this. I don't know if Kevin's heard me say this before or not. This is the first Star Wars I saw in theaters. It's the first movie I can remember seeing ever. So it's always a special night, and really love watching it. It's always fun to hear the stories of what went on behind the scenes.
Yes, it's absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. Please join us. Actually, Dave, aren't you guys on Sunday?
We were on last Sunday, so I believe this is Jedi Archives.
Okay.
Yes.
Jedi Archives. I don't. I looked at the calendar. But don't forget, on Tuesday we'll have a regular happy hour with hopefully some after hours, which we'll talk about Hawkeye, especially this past episode, and a whole bunch of other things. So once again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. From Kevin, from Hefe, from Dave. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.